muscle aches that we have and issues, and we go see physical therapists, and then the physical therapist is, you can help yourself by making sure you do these exercises every day, and we don't do the things to help ourselves. Alright, so we're going to turn to page 29. Just a few more minutes before we move. Alright, so again, one of the things that we're doing in here is incorporating labeling more music terms that you've heard and you've played, and just putting names to them. Okay? So there's one in study in D, it's a composition technique that Bella Bartok is using. And we're going to play it once. So you're actually going to play in the right hand, and I'm going to play the left hand for you. So we'll have a little duet going. Here to see what that technique is. So steady in D is written in moderato tempo. Nice and easy. Like our hazy day outside. So we have our finger numbers written on there for the cues. So if you ever get lost, just your eyes will jump to the next phrase and your finger number will pop on back with us. Okay. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Play. 1, 2, 3. Rest. How did that go for you for your right hand? Lots of fun stuff. Excellent. Alrighty. Okay, so the note, let's take a look at the first phrase. We have there, you have A, G, F sharp, E, T. Now take a look at the bass clef, which I just played. A, G, F sharp, E, T. You guys ever remember doing we down the street? Okay. Also, we have a canon going on here. Alright. It's composition technique used by Bartok. A lot of composers will use it. Right? Where literally you're taking the same pitches, the same melody, starting in a bar later, a couple beats later, and they start overlapping. Alright? And the overlapping, you end up getting your parallel motion, contrary motion, oblique motion. Right? So for pianists, we can do a lot of this on our own, right? Same two hands. Right? If you were in an orchestra, it would maybe violin one's got the first theme, violin 2 does the canon, cello does the third canon. Right? We need to do it all by ourselves, which actually that's the challenge for this piece as well. So wait, which way are my hands going? Are they going away from each other? Are they going towards one another? All right, so that's something worth practicing, just kind of getting used to it. All right, let's try that canon part. We'll take it, we'll do that first phrase. You're going to be playing with both hands. All right, so notice in bar 2, your hands are parallel, and then they go contrary. And then for the very last part, downbeat of 5, parallel motion. All right, so we're going to play 4 measures plus a downbeat. 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Contrary. How'd that go for you? Yeah. So then once more, and let's keep going. We'll take it to the end of bar 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Parallel. Contrary. So this one will take a little bit of work, just if, the coordination you're still struggling with, you take a little bit of time to, it's finger hand independence. This is a good one to work with. All right. Okay, go ahead and take these off. Okay. Any questions on the composition task? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think because I missed last week, so maybe I'll catch up maybe on Tuesday early or something with you.
Sure, yes,
I missed
absolutely.
last week.
So on Tuesdays, I'm here in the classroom from 1 to 2.
That was all for your vague.
Gotcha, yes. So actually, let's go over for people that weren't here on Tuesday what that task is. All right, so I'll go to turn to page 21. So this chapter, we were working a lot with the pentascale, where your hand is in the key, but you only use the first 5 notes of the scale. Right. So at the bottom, the second half of the page there, right, you have we use those as sight reading exercises. You figure out what key it's in, you find what the pentascale where your hands will need to be, and you're just playing just the nice 4 little bars. Right. It's a reading exercise. Notice that your left hand is always 2 octaves below your right hand. All right, so when you're in your compositions, your left hand will also have the same notes as your melody. All right, so you don't need to compose 2 separate parts. You don't need to compose a canon. All right, so right hand and left hand will be together. All right. So you're selecting. So you're going to do 2 examples of 4 bars each. Essentially, you need to pick a key signature. Yeah. Reagan, will you give us a key signature?
How about D?
D. Alright.
Major.
So pick a key. And in D major, what kind of character would you guys like? Cat. We're just going to the back of the book, find her music definitions. Character for D.
Brioso.
What is it?
Brioso.
Can you spell that?
Brioso.
What does brioso mean?
Vigorously.
Oh, alright. Writing on the board is very strange. I can no longer spell when I'm on the board.
You'll eventually get a Y in the computer.
Vigor.
G-O-R.
G-O-R.
O-U-S. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Alright. Alright, so we've got a character, we've got our key. Alright, so that means then our pentascale that we need is going to be D, E, extra G, and A. Alright. And Andrew, which scale degree should we start on?
We should start on the mediant.
Mediant. Ooh, who knows what scale degree that is? He's using music too.
I thought we
There, yay! Yes, okay, so he's using, so here's 1st degree, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So yes, we know that this guy is a tonic. And we have our dominant here, is the 5th. So then yes. Alright. Okay, so he wants to start on the mediant. So we want the F sharp. It's going to be our pitch. Oh, we need time signatures. Kevin.
4/4.
4/4. Oh boy. We'll go with it though. Alright, we're going to start on the next one. Okay. Right, so, oh, and then we want our left hand. Sorry, is it 1 octave apart or 2 octaves apart? It is 2. So that would mean Actually, which F sharp do you want? We start with immediate. Andrew,
Oh,
do this one or that one?
The top one.
That one. That would make your left hand easier to read, right? Good call. All right, so there's our immediate. Our hands are set 2 octaves apart. Okay. So then they're just gonna come up with some kind of rhythm that you have 4 beats in a measure. All right. I'll give you a rhythm. Let's do. Just something to work with. All right. So we're gonna have sharp. Deidre, will you give us the notes for the rest of the measure? Right? So three other notes.
Let's make the 8th note both G's.
You want to go up to a G or
Up,
down?
up, up, up.
Oh, I guess we would have to, right?
Yeah.
Because we're in our pentascale.
And then we can make the half note a D. Down. Yes.
Ah, now we got something going on here. This is literally you're just filling in pieces of the puzzle. Alright. And Ali, would you give us a rhythm? 4 beats. What kind of rhythm would you like in bar 2?
How about 2/8, 1/4, 2/8, 1/4.
Alright, and Veronica, where would you like to go from this D to our 2/8?
F sharp.
And then 1 fret. What about the second 8th?
And then E. Another E. D. And back to E.
And then we need another quarter note. Austin.
E.
Oh, here. Oh, cool. Let's play those 2 bars. So because we're starting with our immediate, or 3rd degree, which that will be your 3rd finger. And make sure it's the D, the second D above middle C. Okay, sounds good, right? Okay, let's play this together. You can do both hands, or just one hand. Alright, well everyone play that F sharp. Yes, perfect. Remember, we got some F sharp and F natural there on accident. Here we go. Brio, so vigorously. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. I'm gonna give you guys 2 measures to feel that pulse a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Nice, there we go. All right, and then if you were to get all your notes out, finish out the idea, make sure one thing you want to watch out for, so it will make it sound more final when you get to the end. Whatever note value you use, make sure it's on a D. Because you're in the key of D, you want to make sure you come back home, or else it will sound a little funky. Okay, so whatever note value it is that you choose, make sure it's a D. The starting is not, you can start on tonic if you want, but really in the beginning you start with anything, but we want to make it sound like we are in the key of D major. We do that by coming back to tonic. Alright, and if you're up for it, so for vigorously, you can start thinking, okay, what kind of articulation would make it sound more vigorous, right? So there probably wouldn't be legato through the whole thing. Got some staccatos in there, maybe.
A crescendo.
Ooh, alright, so very crescendo, we're gonna raise our rhythm here. Bar 1, bar 2, do both bars.
Starting in bar 1.
Ah. What dynamic level are you starting at?
Oh, mezzo piano?
The more musical indications you can add into your compositions, the more interesting it is when we play for you. Okay? Yeah, Jensen?
So the beginning notes, you don't need the cares, you just choose one.
As any of the notes, hold on one second, please don't do. Any of the notes in your pentascale, yes.
Okay, so and they after for the.
Only at the
which
very
major-
end. Start
Which
at-
major you have to put on.
Yes. Whereas our staccatos, mezzo piano, maybe crescendo to, maybe just a mezzo forte, you could go to a forte, right? So you certainly want to gauge certain things.
So for the composition, do we only use parallel or do we use contrary or are we?
Ooh, that's a very good question. For this one, keep your two hands exactly the same.
Okay.
So they're going to, not only parallel, they're the same
Same
octave,
notes.
same notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, because they're just getting us to feel what it's like to play both hands together. We'll get your hands. We have other stuff to get your hands to do different things. Yeah. So, any questions on that? Does that help? Right, so just two examples of them. Choose different keys, choose different kinds of signatures. Okay, all right, so last time we talked, we were chatting and getting to know more people. So let me zoom out of the board here. Alrighty. So, anybody can chime in? Who am I standing next to?
Reagan.
Reagan. What do we remember about Reagan? What do we know about Reagan?
Oh, yeah, he's a bass.
And a theater major.
Vocal theater?
Well, okay, I started out as a theater major. In my third year, I added music as a major, so, yeah. Great decision of mine.
Was there sarcasm in that or?
No, well,
Okay.
just the fact that I added it in my third year, that's always good for the tuition money.
Ah, gotcha. So you're in your third year of your theater major, but this is
Yes.
the first year you've been in the music school.
Yeah,
Ish. Yeah. Cool. Nice.
it's complicated.
Yeah.
I also took a semester off to work at Disney World, but that's neither here nor there.
Do we get passes?
No, neither do I. But I still have them in my wallet.
That's great. Anything else about Reagan?
Oh, he does voiceover work.
Whose voice?
Probably, well, I don't know, does anybody listen to the radio? Do you hear the Mrs. Baird's commercial with the crowd the deep voice? If you have ever heard that, that's me.
Mrs. Baird? Is that what you said?
Mrs. Baird's bread, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, see, now that you mention it, I'm going to hear him.
I know.
I know that voice. Can you do that voice? I need to hear it.
That's you, huh?
Well, just have to put on a phony baloney accent and all of a sudden you sound like you're just the most authentic bread baker in the world.
I bet you.
I can say I know that guy.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Fern.
Vern. From Oklahoma.
Yeah.
She's been playing piano for a long time.
Taught there at a community college.
I know not everybody got to talk with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, fair, fair. Well, we have a whole semester to learn more about people, right? So I know some of these facts are just tidbits, right? That's the new lady here. Hello, Deidre. Hi. Deidre.
Plays the violin.
And so does her daughter,
Yeah.
her oldest.
She's two daughters, one's in college and one's in high school.
She plays so the violin, she plays in Starlight Symphony.
Yes.
Where, Starlight Symphony is in Buda?
Kyle.
Kyle.
Close.
Here's some Kyle.
Yeah.
They go together.
Started, yeah, what is that? Started?
Starlight Symphony.
Starlight
It's a
Symphony.
community symphony, so it's just,
Really?
just volunteers that come to
Yeah. We watch for that on the web and see.
Yeah, they have
Okay,
their concert
yeah.
coming up in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna look that up and send everyone a reminder if we go.
Yeah,
So,
it'll be
Cool.
fun though.
Starlight Symphony. What's on the program?
What's up? We're playing, gosh, can I pronounce it? We're playing a Rimsky-Korsakov,
which
Crucio
one?
Espanol.
Oh, I played that, that's a blast.
It is fun.
That was fun. It's really fun.
My fingers don't move that fast, but that's okay.
Other people's fingers move fast.
We're also playing Haydn Symphony number 60.
Out of, factoid, how many symphonies did Haydn write?
Something in
Say
the
like
hundreds.
120?
Something in the hundreds.
Something in the 100 lower than 120.
104.
A little bit more than 104.
110.
We talked about this, didn't we?
Closest 109.
Did we talk about this in this class?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
109.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Lovely, cool. So, yeah, we'll have to make sure we would
Yeah.
have loved to be there. So, Rosie Korsakov, Haydn.
And Mussorgsky, Intermezzo.
Oh, this is gonna be
He
good.
wrote something else other than pictures in an exhibition.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, intermezzo. Okay, that one I don't know.
And then we're doing a thing, our conductor just had this crazy idea of what he calls chance music. So basically, he's divided us up into groups, and you have like 15 seconds, but it's just say, okay, this group you play, and then you just play whatever.
It's just like our piano class.
It's just like, basically it's like rolling the dice and then.
Yeah. Oh wait, but you guys are you guys playing the same part, or you guys?
We just
The
kind of
violin
talk
section.
about, well, kind of like what notes you want to do, but then everybody can do their own thing for like 15 seconds
Wow.
based on the song.
Goodness.
It is kind of fun. It sounds really interesting. For those people who like order and things, it doesn't sound so good.
Oh, no, yeah.
But it is fun.
Chance music.
Chance music.
Yes. I remember studying that several years ago. Chance music. Sorry, so it's
See, so, thank you.
Chance.
chance music.
It's
Other composers connected with chance music?
It's a real thing?
It's a real thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, after Beethoven and Mozart and Rachmaninoff, all the good stuff, they really just kind of ran out of ideas.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
play something.
No, the idea in what we're talking about, so chance music, we're talking early 20th century, right? Really probably 1920-ish on, right, depending on where you were. But the idea that the community, they were coming out of wars, and so they have all these experiences, and yet, what do you do with all that experience, all the horror that you saw, and all the experience, and then, what do the composers do? Well, the chant music, it's cacophony, right? It's
Yeah.
just, it's intense, and you don't know what to make sense of it. So that's literally what they made of the war. This is the music that came out of the war, and all the madness surrounding it. Chant music. And chant music, and along with that, we're talking atonality. Right? Where this is an example, tonality. We know what pitches are going to be used. It sounds good, there's a home, we know where we're going, we know where we're coming back to. Atonality,
No idea. Even people playing, no idea.
that's atonality, and chance music. The chance music that Deidre's talking about is you guys are improvising
Yeah.
whatever is there, right? There are chance music that's written, but in a way as in your music, it looks like a, kind of a, I don't know if you guys remember the novels where you get to the end of the page, it says, jump to page 82 or jump to page 39, and it changes the entire story depending on what page you go to. Right, so then in the music, you play to the end of this line, it says jump to line 4 or jump to line 8, and then you just, you go where you want. It's chance music, it's different every time you play it. Right, so it can be written out too.
Wow.
Fun stuff. Atonality music. Cool. All right, and who's next to Deidre?
Trumpet player.
Trumpet,
yeah,
you go.
playing
Carnegie Hall.
yeah, many times. A lot of fun. Yeah.
Because he grew up in Long Island.
Yeah,
Okay.
Long Island, yeah.
Long Island.
Long time.
Yeah.
Let's get that straight.
Nice.
I was out in practicing in the practice room 2 days ago. It's something he practices, that's good.
Exciting. Nice.
And he has a twin sister.
Yeah, twin sister.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where's she?
She goes to a small college in New York City for nursing. So.
So it's the first time you were really far.
Yeah, aside from like when I went away to camps for like a month.
Right.
Those things will come.
What's your sister's name?
Leanne.
Leanne?
Yeah.
Leanne and Kevin.
Can I ask who some of your favorite trumpet players are? Top,
Are we talking like orchestra or like? Cause that's all like, I don't know.
Both.
Like orchestra, like Bud Herseth and Phil Smith are like my go-tos. But those are like, Bud Herseth was principal of Chicago for like the longest time. Phil Smith was principal in New York, just retired because he can't physically play trumpet anymore because he hurt his lips. And then Chris Martin just took the job, who's actually coming here in April. And his brother, Mike, who wrote a piece for the wind ensemble, who's fourth trumpet in Boston Symphony. So yeah.
And the non-classical, the
I like Doc Severinsen and Maynard Ferguson and all them, but like, yeah. But I don't really listen to jazz that much, but
You need to change that, Kevin.
I should.
You know Ryan Anthony?
Yes, Ryan Anthony is a legend.
He goes to my church.
Really?
Back in Dallas,
Ryan
yeah.
Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's principal trumpeter of Dallas Symphony.
Yeah.
And he had cancer. And he started this whole foundation called Cancer Blows.
Yeah.
And it's like all like the best brass players from the United States go down there in
Yeah.
Dallas and they like play concerts.
I didn't get to go to that concert, but
Yeah.
Nick
didn't
did.
get to go?
Were you there?
Yeah, I was in grade tier with.
Wait, you were there? Or you're so lucky?
I know, it was,
Dallas.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
My mom was there. She didn't give me a ticket though.
I have the album on my phone.
Give a little time to Miles Davis if you haven't.
Oh yeah, Miles, I know Miles and stuff. Like I played, I played in school jazz band, but like it wasn't like my go-to.
Fair enough, fair enough. Let's hop on this side.
Hi, Kat.
Like Kathleen.
Cat.
She's also a vocalist.
Voice major. You got it.
Go to ACL on you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's going to ACL.
You're going to ACL.
Yeah, go.
What are your headliners?
The XX, definitely. I can't remember everyone who's playing, but I just saw that and I was like, I gotta go see them.
There's a lot. Yeah. Has anybody else been to ACL?
I didn't know about it until 2 weeks ago.
Been to ACL?
Yeah. You been?
You mean Moody Theater or the festival?
The festival.
Both.
Yeah. Haven't been to the festival, just 2 weekends ago I went to the main theater. It was incredible.
Always.
Just stunning. So I went for a particular guitarist, and he had been an artist that I loved ever since I was in middle school, and so he's come to Salt Lake several times, but I was always gone for a music festival, and my best friend always went without me, always. But this time we saw that he was coming to Austin. We bought the tickets back in June. We bought the concert tickets first, and she's like, "Okay, I guess I need to buy a plane ticket now." Priorities. But it was stunning. I've never been in a venue where every single seat is spectacular.
It's amazing.
I don't know why they don't make more venues shaped the way ACL is shaped and how many people can sit in there.
We have more top-notch bands that come to a relatively small place than anywhere else.
Very cool place. We need to learn more about Kat, so if you don't mind, chat with her, we need to know more about her a little bit. Other than the fact that she's a singer from Utah. I'm sure that is not what's going to say on your headstone. There's more stuff about you. But yeah, who's next to you?
Ollie.
Ollie.
Also, vocals.
Plays the bass.
Bass.
Oh, that's,
Electric. Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. We get the idea, yeah.
When did you start doing that?
About, maybe about 10 years ago.
Do you play in a band?
No. I started taking lessons from a young guy who was in college. And I thought, oh, he's cool, he's young, he's just gonna let me like learn some songs. No, he was a theory major and a jazz performance major. So yes, I was reading the bass clef and learning how more difficult songs. He's working me.
Just like I'm working all of you guys in this month. Nice. Alrighty, and this lovely lady here.
Veronica. She has one child who's in New York trying to make it big.
Broadway.
Theater, right?
Yeah.
Broadway. Somewhere on that big street there.
Yeah. Kind of famous street.
She happens to have 2 types of keyboards at her house and was like, I'm just gonna learn how to use them because they're just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's great. See, I'm trying to keep track of everything.
Did she go to school in New York? Or no?
Yes.
Where'd she go?
Syracuse.
Oh, okay.
Had a lot of people from Long Island. in Syracuse.
Yes.
Alright.
Austin.
Austin. Like the name of the city.
Yeah.
That one before I had it.
I'm sure he's never heard that joke before.
Yeah.
The one I was at was Tuesday, it's Thursday, you're late.
Oh, I've been,
Yeah.
So many Ronald Reagan jokes.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Alright, yeah. Who's Austin? What do we know and like about him?
Dallas Fort Worth area, actually, Richardson.
They sat.
Andrew and I went to the same school.
Yes.
uh-huh.
That I did not know.
Yeah, we went to high school together.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's why we make like side jokes to each other because
Yeah.
the inside jokes for like, we laugh at our band director still and we're like, what, 5 months from being?
You guys.
Very cool. So you guys were in ensembles together all during school? and-
Yeah, all 4 years, right?
Yeah, we were both one, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Were you
were you
playing? You were playing bells in
Oh.
bells, right? Were you playing the crash plate at all? I don't
Crack,
remember.
yeah, the bell plate part,
Yeah.
chime part and bells for Sikowski. If you ever listen to that
You need to
piece,
play that
it's
piece.
pretty crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, send it to me. I'll pull it up and have everyone listen to it.
There's a really good recording of the military band playing it.
Ooh, there. Very cool. We'll go over here.
this is Joan. And then she wasn't here on Tuesday, so we can talk to her
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Miami.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm not gonna- I'll go back on there.
The window blew off of our condo wall from
Yeah.
hurricane
Yes,
damage.
yeah.
Oh, come on.
It wasn't a vacation and it wasn't.
It wasn't necessary.
But at least now it's clean, so that it
It's
can.
now, yeah, that cinder block looks really good.
Nice, I mean, other than mildew, is structure's okay?
But it took a long time, take a long time to fix it.
Yeah, after 2 more weeks, we have some repairs that need to be done from above,
Oh,
so
wow.
we'll get there.
Yeah, good luck with that. Lovely.
That's
Jenny.
Jenny. Her children have played various musical instruments, and that's kind of, she's accompanied some of them or just been supporting them. And so one of her children played violin for a little bit until she went to,
You just have one daughter, right?
I mean,
One daughter.
Okay.
she played right
Oh,
for
okay.
11 years.
Okay.
She's only 15,
Mhm.
okay.
She started when she was 4?
4.5.
Oh my goodness. You know.
You know, I was thinking about piano, wanted her to play piano, then she saw the neighborhood German kids play the violin, she wanted to do that. So I said, okay, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Then I just follow her. I'm stopping my walking and go with her reading for her. Even she played the violin, I try just to learn the piano, play 1 measure, 2 measure, then she hear the sound because of Suzuki.
I was gonna ask for Suzuki. Don't you love Suzuki?
So many
I love
twinkle,
it.
twinkle
Yeah,
little
she started
stars.
Suzuki.
Yeah.
Then second grade,
It's gonna be great.
she was, get a head injury from her classmates. Then she don't want to play violin. I said, no, we don't stop. Once you start, you have to really short time. And she that time she joined the string project in the UT.
Yeah.
Then I try join the, and it's very basic. Then go with her, I try to play with her, but I can't. Learning so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
I don't, it's
Wow.
lovely.
And back here. Sitting behind Jenny is Andrew.
He plays percussion.
Try.
12 years piano.
Ryan Anthony went to his church.
Went
He
to
would like
school with
host
me.
concerts at the
Yeah.
church.
Wants to teach.
In high school, middle school? What are you thinking?
Probably high school.
Yeah.
probably too.
That was my, so that means that was, high school was your best experience with music, if that's what you want to contribute to, that's usually what.
Is that how that formula works?
I
Okay.
No,
or at least just, you know, from anecdotally from what I've heard, you know, who do we want to
Yeah,
teach?
percentage, yeah.
Alrighty, and next to Andrew is,
Oh,
Bill is not here today,
that's
he's
right, he's 6 feet.
dental surgery, so nobody wants to be Bill today, unfortunately. Yes, alright, so Paul, what do we know about Paul?
He loves his dog very much.
What kind of dog?
He's a Catahoula.
Oh,
He's a what?
Catahoula. Catahoula is the state dog of Louisiana. And historically, their ancestry is from so-called war dogs that were brought from Europe by the explorers, the Spanish explorers. And so these dogs were bred with red wolves in Louisiana and dogs that Indians had bred, and then these European war dogs. And he's a 66-pound puppy. And he is a clown. I mean, he's just a clown. He's just, everything is a toy. And everybody is another puppy. Man, he's just.
We all need to ask Paul for pictures after class.
Yeah.
Lovely. Alrighty. And Ruby, obviously you use those.
From Salt Lake City.
Yes!
Yeah.
You went to MSM.
I did go to MSM. So MSM is the Manhattan School of Music in New York City. Did my master's degree there. I met a teacher at a summer festival when I was in my undergrad. And so it wasn't even New York that I cared about, it was the teacher. He just happened to be in one of the big cities that everybody wants to be in when you're young, right? So I spent 2 years in New York City. And I was glad to get out though. It's not my city. Not my kind of lifestyle. That's very, very quick. I don't know how you grew up there.
I like
You
it.
get used to it for sure,
Yeah.
and that's just where you are. But I coming from Salt Lake, where it's
Oh,
very
yeah.
quiet,
Oh,
and
yeah.
very suburbia,
Right.
and then whoa, literally you will get off the bus or get on the plane, and it's a different energy. Just on the street, it's a different energy.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. I
So-
don't miss New York City.
So the teacher, you're the teacher, how long did you study with that teacher?
2 years.
Yeah, how did that, was it like you thought it'd be?
Pros and cons, absolutely. The playing that I did those 2 years were probably the best I've ever played.
Yeah,
And that was,
really?
honestly, that was probably the height of my, I'm just kind of sad. The height of my playing skills.
So far. The height so far.
The height, yeah. I mean, just because I was so involved at the time and I cared about the actual physical playing of the piano and that kind of detail that a lot of concert pianists, that's what they strive for. I was still very much in that mindset, and that's what I was really focusing on is, you know, how do we get a beautiful sound out of the piano? How do we get an even better sound out of the
Yeah.
piano? And it's all about every little tiny motion that you make, the piano responds to. And so I was very much engaged at that when I was in New York, and it helps that everyone around you is a similar mind, and so everyone is just striving. Everyone's always in the practice room, always. It's incredible what we get ourselves to do, right? But coming out of it and my other experiences there, I realized there's other parts of music that I like better than just focusing on the music. And, you know, I like interacting with people. I'd rather teach than practice. And certainly, I still have to practice, but it's the teaching that I like better. So yeah.
Where'd you do your undergrad?
University of Utah. So I stayed in Salt Lake. Yeah. So full
Where is
ride.
that in Utah?
Center north. So
So pretty up there.
oh, that's a little lopsided. Let's try this again. There we go. Salt Lake's there. Yeah. Yep. That's where I grew up. I'm super excited to go back for Thanksgiving. My niece will be 3 years old. She was,
Oh.
I was teaching in this lab when I got the message that she was born. And I booked a ticket right after I got out of class. I said, see you guys, I'm gonna go see my niece. It was great. So now I'm gonna go see her. I loved coming down here, the idea of coming down to Austin, and then, but of course, once I knew she was born, I went, well, dang it, now I'm so far away from her. But, so she's the first grandkid in the family, and of course everybody goes over her, and so far she's still the only child, only grandchild. Alrighty, okay, it looks like everybody has their books, which is great. Oh, we're gonna talk
More or
about
less. I got a top, I have something close.
There it is, these
It's
are,
pretty close.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
It's not identical, but it's pretty close. It's not the concise.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so chapters 1 and 2, we're talking about pentascales. Chapter 3, we're starting to get into root position chords. So that's kind of when I start exploring. You don't need to worry about your book pages. You can just talk about it and play some exercises. Okay, so we're talking about our pentascales. That, yes, these are melodic notes. We can play them as melodic notes, but also as pianists, we can play harmony. Right? I know you can, violins can do double stops. Percussionists, of course, you guys can play harmony. You can do four mallets. I don't know how, not a clue how you guys do that.
When you say pentascale, you're meaning a scale of 5 notes.
Yes.
Which is not pentatonic, which is different.
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. So pentascale being the first 5 notes of the scale. Yes. So there is a difference. So what we did on Tuesday with the black keys, that is pentatonic, and then we have pentascale. And we can, on Tuesday, I'll go over what makes a pentatonic scale, which is different, so. Okay, so play melody notes, but harmony is the primary thing that we can do as pianists. We can harmonize with ourselves. So the idea that whenever we have chords, we're just going to build them on top of the notes that we have in our scale. Okay, so chord being, they're always going to be skips. Okay, so if you have a C, then you skip a letter, B, G, that's your chord. Okay. And D, F, A, E, G, B, A, C. Oh, F, A, C, G, B, D. Okay. So literally just stacking, these are in root position, meaning they're all evenly spaced. Okay. And that the C chord, so we call this a C chord, is the lowest note that you're playing. And these are evenly stacked. Okay. Just to kind of show you guys what it will become, a lot of times it's used in music. They will invert your chords. When you use chord inversions, it's easier to get to from chord to chord. That's why we have them. We'll explore that. But right, all 3 of these are C major chords, but because you are inverting each note, the spacing will look different. So when they are stacked perfectly like a snowman, that's your root position.
that's very cool.
All right, so in C major pentascale, so now your hands will be moving because you're playing triads on every single note of your pentascale. All right, so I'm going to play that C, the first chord. Yes, and make sure you're using 1, 3, 5 on your right hand. Gives you 5 notes, 5 fingers, every other note, every other finger. And is that a major or minor quality?
Major.
Major. It's a major quality. It's the first chord in our C major pentascale. So we can use a Roman numeral, a capital Roman numeral, to indicate that it's a major chord and it's the first chord of your pentascale. All right, play the next one. Let's go right here. DFA. It naturally is a minor quality. Lowercase 2. Go ahead and move on up. Major, minor. Lowercase 3. Go to the next one. Major chord, and the last one. There it is. Okay. So a lot of times in your music, if you're analyzing it, looking at it, sometimes you'll see chord symbols. Sometimes you'll see Roman numerals. Sometimes you'll see it written out perfectly, exactly for what you need to play. Sometimes it's a mix of both. We see them all in all different formations in our book. The important thing is root position. You're always going to play with 1, 3, and a 5. That sets our hand in the most natural hand position instead of, I've seen people trying to do 1, 2, 3. But then you get an awkward, you're literally physically twisting your hand to use it for yourself. No, we gotta do that. Alright, we'll do one more key. And then also you have to do the other ones by yourself. Alright, so we're in G major. In G major, pentascale. In your pentascale itself, you don't have any sharps, G, A, B, C, D. But we do need an F sharp, right? So we may not need it in our pentascale, but you might need it in your chords when you're going to do chords. Mainly this guy over right here, that's what I'm looking at. Because it's a D, F, A, it actually needs to be D, F sharp, A.
Also the minor 3,
Yeah, might be
there's
great.
the F sharp on your
Thank
thing.
you. Oh, wait.
The 5.
Yes. The thing is, doesn't matter what key you're in, it's always going to be major, minor, minor, major, major. All right, go put your headphones on. So the thing with getting really comfortable with these triads is we need to spell them. You know exactly what it is that you're playing. All right, so what we're actually going to do with them is before you play each one, you would say C, E, G, C, major, D, F, A. You're going to be very literal about it. You spell the chords to yourself to make sure your fingers are playing what your brain thinks is playing. C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, like that. Okay? Awesome, whenever you plug in.
Always play the wrong one.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna just work with this with your right hand for now. Okay. So your hand's in a nice shape. I think you're still not plugged in the right one.
Goodness.
There are a lot of plugs down
Can you hear it now?
No.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, so I know you can't see my hands, but I'm just gonna describe my hand position and you'll check yourself. Alright. So your pinky, you want to make sure when you do play with your 5th finger that you're using just the very, very tip of it. If you use any more than that, your hand will start slanting itself and your wrist, everything will start collapsing downwards. The key is all in the tip of the 5th finger. If you bring the 5th finger up, everything else goes up with it the way, right where it needs to be. Okay? And if your 5th finger is up, the top of your hand is a pretty flat surface. So technically you should be able to place a quarter on your hand and play this exercise and the quarter will do just fine. Okay? So pay attention to that top of your hand, to your pinky, be nice and supported. Alright, do a 2-bar count off, and then we'll start with C, E, G, and we'll play the chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D. Good, let's go back down. F, A, C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G. And those are your first 5 chords based on, built off of your pentascale. Okay. All right, this is on page 37. So just want to head over to that board back there. So for Tuesday, that's the first item. Page 37, theory item 3, spell and play. Okay. But notice that so they write it out in the key of C, they give you the first 3 chords in the key of D, but then you do it for all the pentascale that are listed in the book. So there's quite a few. Okay. We use about 2 minutes to work through some of them. I can answer some questions. Okay. So you're spelling the chords, and you're playing the chords.
You spell the chord and then name the chord, is that right? Is that what you're
Spell the chord and then play.
calling it? You spell and play, okay.
So you could say C, E, G, C, or you could play and say the actual name of the chord.
Yeah, that's what I'm after, yeah, spell it and then the actual.
Yes.
And that's off the list, right?
Yep. Okay, so it goes up to your 5 chord and comes back down, and then you're in the key of D major. That's the 1 chord in D major. D, F sharp A, E, G, B, F sharp A, C sharp, play the chord. Okay, so we have all these sharps in there because in the key of D, you have F sharp and C sharp.
Okay, okay. So if you see 2 sharps, it's the key of D, then you're there, as you'd see.
Yeah, you bet. So if you want to, if you feel like you need a cursor on the key signatures, you just Google key signatures, all kinds of helpful pop up.
There's, in the introductory to this, there's pretty good thing about key
Oh,
signatures.
yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's- yeah.
Perfect, yep,
That's
in
what I-
every chapter.
That's what I- Okay, yeah.
All the things that you kind of knew, but you didn't know where they go, and
Yeah, so key signatures, I'll have to get on that.
so that, yeah, all of our chords. This is what all of Western music is built on this. That's it, really. If you really think about it, this is the basic blocks of all Western
Okay.
music.
All right.
Who's the head?
Yes.
Like, when you get him down here, let's see. And so eventually, as I'm going up, I'm going to be playing, I'm gonna get to an F sharp.
Yes.
But it's gonna be like, I'm gonna do that slide my hand.
You do, that's exactly it. Exactly, right? Because again, we want to keep it in the most natural shape. If I'm on B, then I need that F sharp, right? But like
Right,
that.
you don't know.
So just slide our whole hand in, it's totally fine for our fingers to be in between the black keys. That's the right position.
All right.
You don't have to pay attention. I don't know if you noticed, but you're curling in your forefinger when you play. What if you try and bring that out a little bit and just have it sit on the keyboard? Yeah, beautiful.
This, see, that's, this
It's this one, it's the your middle C.
okay, so that's, I was thinking, okay, all right.
Oh, hey, you're fine. It's a way of labeling chords. So in music theory, they do say, so this is the first chord in C major. This is the second chord in C major, third chord, right? Because it's
Then the first chord, second chord.
yes, yes. And when it's capital, that means it's a major chord. chord, so it sounds minor. Okay. So literally on paper, we can tell whether it's major or minor chord.
I'm confused, just confused, why this kind of like this?
Oh, perfect. Major, minor.
Major, like,
Yeah, go for your own left. It's the quality. We're talking about what sounds brighter and what sounds darker. Because the music, if everything sounded bright, then we're living in La La Land, right? And so you have to have a contrast of light and dark, bright and dark, right? So the idea that in a C major, it's a major because just by listening to it, it sounds very happy. This would be C minor. You hear a difference? It's very slight. You start getting, the more you play and listen to it, you start going, oh, that's a minor chord, that's a major chord. What you're looking at here, so in a major chord, there's 3 notes that you don't want to hear, and then 2 notes. If it's a minor, I take this middle note and lower it, so now it's 2 keys I don't play, and 3 keys I don't play. Right, so I'm in the C pentascale, so naturally we have no sharps and no flats. So that means when I build a chord on D, I have no sharps and no flats, and it happens, it naturally is a minor chord. And so in the key signature, the first chord will always be major, just simply because of all the sharps and flats involved. The second chord will always be minor, 3 will always be minor. Yeah, so these are just things that show up in music, the patterns, or the way it's created. I don't think. Yeah. So. Okay, so some of you guys are doing really good work with them. Some of you guys are more familiar with it. Some of it's like, this is a lot of information. Absolutely, this is our building block. This is from here. We're going to do a lot of work with it, and you'll see it happening in our music a lot. And the more you see it, the more you hear it, the more it will make sense, right? But really, all of Western music, we're talking European Western music, and what we generally understand as classical music. It's made out of this. This is it, right? For the most basic foundation of it. It's just chords, what's major, what's minor. Of course, we do have some extensions to these, but this is the foundation. And as pianists, again, we have the ability to incorporate all of that. We can be our orchestra. Whereas, I think for most of you guys are used to seeing your part, but then you miss the harmonic structure, right? You don't get a sense of the whole picture, but pianists are able to do everything. To ears. It's the nature of our instrument. Okay. All right, so we're going to teach you guys a piece by rote. Okay, so meaning, you're not looking at music, we're just going to figure out where our hands go and see how well you guys follow directions. Okay. Make sure that you visualize them on here. This piece is called Scherzo by Kavalevsky. It's a very popular one. All right, first thing, your left hand is going to be on an E minor chord. See if you can find this E minor. Notice where it is on the grand staff. And it is a root position chord, so in your left hand you will use 5, 3, 1. And then your right hand, you're gonna put a chord right above it. So your thumbs are right next to each other. So your left hand's an E minor, your right hand is a C major. Yeah, we have no sharps and no flats in this particular piece. Now we're gonna find your next hand position. You're gonna shift everything you have up a step. So if we do that, your left hand is now on what chord?
F.
major, and your right hand is on
D minor.
D minor. There you go. Good. For bar 3, you're going to shift back down. E minor, C major. Okay, we'll take those 3 bars. So here's your first position. You're going to move up and move back down. Okay. And here's the rhythm that you're playing. So you're playing 1, 2, 1, and 2. So now I'm bringing them up. All right, listen again. See if you can try and copy that. All right, so my left hand, I played my root triad one at a time. My right hand does the low note and then plays the third interval at the same time. Go. 1, 2, 1, and 2. How did that go? Nice. It's different when you're just listening to directions, for sure. Alrighty. So your hand is here right now. Oh, sorry. Here we go. So your left hand is on the E minor, your right hand is on C major. For bar 4, so next bar, move everything down a step. Now move everything up a step. Move everything down a step. Alright, so that's your pattern. Okay, so starts on a chord, goes up, comes down. You're going to go down, go up, and come back down. Okay, so that takes our 6 bars. Okay, we're going to do something where you're actually just going to play the chords. You're going to play left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. So you just have a chance to look at your hands and see where they're going. Okay? I'm going to state the chord names so you can help me find it. So you're just playing quarter notes. 1, 2, 1, 2. E minor, C major, move up, F major, D minor, E minor, C major, D minor, B diminished, E minor, C, D, B. You're moving around quite a bit. Yeah. Some projects. What is happening? All right. I just want to try that out. So again, it's a chance for you to learn music differently. They're just by following directions, listening. Scherzo is actually on page 31. The fact that so I did it. Sure. Really loud. Surprise! I won't move. It's because I did the chord. Oh yeah, so looking at the piece, it all just looks like random notes everywhere. But it's the fact that they are chords, which I presented to you as an E minor chord in the left hand, C major chord in the right hand. We want to, for a good reader, we want to try and find those chords before we're playing through it. Okay? So actually, I did not put this on the board, but this is one of the new pieces that we're working on. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so, let's work on this rhythm a little bit. Change my plans a bit. All right, so notice in this piece, your grand staff, it's both in treble clef. Yeah? So just be sure when you're reading music, your hands are bent on the seat. Okay. And we're going to tap out this rhythm. So go ahead and slide your lips closed. We're on page 31. Okay. So if your rhythm is in the lower treble staff, that's your left hand. It's in the higher treble staff, that's your right hand. We're just going to tap this rhythm out. Okay. So 1, 2, 1, and 2. coordination exercise, making sure your eyes are, get used to moving up and down within the grand staff. When you're looking at that, figure that out, and then putting the notes to it. Okay. If you want some guidance, the page before it, again, the way that Hildy laid this book out, she always gives you some directions, things to get you to pay attention to, right? Before you start the keys, any reminders that you want to look for. That's always the page before it. Our repertoire is always very informational. Okay. Question? I'm going to look at one more thing for today. We'll keep working on this answer. Let's see. You guys go to page 28. Very different piece of music. This actually has elements of chance music, if you will. It's kind of cool. I just realized that connection. All right, so if you're looking at interview on page 28, tell me what you notice.
There are no measure lines.
There are no measure lines. What? Look at that.
So times.
No time signatures, there are no bar lines. That's, I rarely ever play anything without a bar line, but it's great.
Very specific dynamic markings.
Ooh, yes. Mezzo forte, mezzo piano, piano, pianissimo.
So those quarter notes, they don't have the, like the thing on them,
No,
so they're just,
because we don't know what the note value is. There's no time signature.
I see.
And notice that it's boxed in. It says you're going to improvise
Yeah.
on those 5 notes.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter what rhythm you play. It doesn't matter how long you play for because there's no bar lines. It's your chance music. The only thing that's not a chance is your bass line. You do need to play.
Right.
Whatever you want, whenever you're ready. Mezzo piano D. When you're ready, piano. It really just makes you just kind of wander around. It's different kind of music. Actually, it's very freeing. I wish more music was written like this. There's no wrong notes, right? Good. What else do you notice?
In the third system,
Uh-huh.
where it actually does have like, it would look like valued quarter notes, but it's, I think it would just state that it's like indicating that it's one after the other, not like in any particular time. It's just-
Yes. So those do look like our typical quarter notes. But really, he says slowly, freely. So it doesn't have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, the fact that it says the ACCEL, the shortened, so a cello rondo and a crescendo. So that part actually sounds, you can interpret it in many different ways, but essentially those notes are going to come closer and closer together. So you could do. Right, so you have that box of there's no time, do whatever you want with those 3 notes. Huge fermata on nothing. What? It's a fermata hanging over nothing. So just silence, and then. Yes, they're essentially whole notes, but you're not counting. You're just listening to the sonorities. Just wherever you want it to be, or if you want it to be. It doesn't matter. Silence, something that's written. This is definitely a play with exploring the sonorities of the piano. Notice it says with or without pedal, try it both ways, right? So really seeing what the piano reacts to, how do things, once you're layering them, why it sounds like that, what sounds better, what sounds not as good, right? So I find it freeing because music sometimes, when you're so used to seeing things in bar lines and be very accurate with your counting and ensemble work, absolutely very, very important, but now you just can have a little fun with this piece, all right? Any questions on that? Also just seeing music that's different, right? Something outside of 4/4, atonal music, chant music, things that look abnormal to us, and yet it does exist, and people do play it. So this is one. Alrighty. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. Oh,
I was gonna try and turn around and just be easier.